Parents kicked their 16-year-old son out of the house. Chose the golden child, said he wasn't worth it, gave him nothing. He disappeared for 20 long years, built an empire in silence. Then he bought their dream house and evicted them on their 45th wedding anniversary. This is the coldest family revenge you'll ever hear. Bitter revenge starts right now. My name is Ethan Brooks. I was 16 when my parents told me I no longer had a place in their home. We lived in a quiet, affluent suburb of Austin, Texas, large 2-story brick house, 4 bedrooms, swimming pool, 3-car garage. My father, David Brooks, owned Brooks Construction, a regional commercial builder specializing in office parks and retail centers. Annual revenue hovered around $60 million. My mother, Susan, managed the home and the company's bookkeeping. They were respected in the community, church deacons, country club members, donors to local charities. I had an older brother, Connor, 3 years older, star quarterback in high school, charming, athletic, the kind of kid everyone loved. I was quieter, good grades, captain of the math team, built computers in my room, dreamed of engineering school. Connor got suspended twice for partying. I never missed curfew. But Connor was special. He was the one who would carry the family name. The shift started small. Connor's football games got priority over my science fairs. Mom missed my robotics competition to watch his practice. Dad bought Connor a new truck at 17 while I drove the family hand-me-down sedan. When Connor wrecked the truck, DUI, charges dropped after Dad's lawyer intervened. Dad laughed it off, boys make mistakes. When I got a B in AP Physics, Dad said, "You need to try harder, Ethan. Connor's got a future." Then came the night everything ended. I was 16, junior year. College applications were coming. I had a 4.0 GPA, 1550 SAT, early acceptance to UT Austin with a partial scholarship. I needed help with the remaining tuition and housing, about $18,000 a year after aid. Dad sat me down in his office at home. "Ethan, we've decided to focus our resources on Connor. He's got NFL scout interest. We're paying for private training, travel teams, everything. We can't stretch ourselves for 2 kids." I stared. But I got into UT. I'm going to be an engineer. I just need help with the gap. Mom stood in the doorway. "Connor's future is brighter. You're smart, you'll figure it out. Community college first, maybe a job. You'll be fine." No emotion. No, we're proud. Just facts. I asked, "So I'm out?" Dad nodded. "We think it's best. You're old enough. Get a job, pay your way. Connor needs our support now." They didn't even wait for me to finish high school. 2 weeks later they gave me $800 cash, seed money, and told me to find somewhere to stay. I packed a duffel, my laptop, and my savings, $1,200 from summer jobs, walked out the front door while Connor watched from the stairs with a smirk. I couch-surfed with a friend for a month, then rented a room in a rundown house near Austin Community College. Worked nights at a warehouse, enrolled part-time, slept 4 hours a night. No family calls. No birthday texts. No Christmas invitations. Connor got the full treatment. Private coaches, new gear, college paid in full, even though he flunked out after 2 semesters. They bought him a condo off campus. I ate ramen and free campus food. I didn't speak to them for 12 years. I transferred to UT Austin on scholarships and loans, majored in civil engineering with a minor in real estate development. Graduated summa cum laude. Landed a job at a boutique development firm in Dallas, $68,000 starting. Worked 70-hour weeks, saved every penny, networked relentlessly. By 28 I had my first big break, designed a mixed-use project that won a city bid. Equity stake netted me $2.1 million after taxes. I didn't spend it. I invested REITs, multifamily properties, small commercial flips. By 32 I started Brooks Development Group, same last name as Dad's, deliberate. Focused on luxury infill projects in growing Texas suburbs. Revenue hit $45 million in year 4, $120 million in year 7. I kept it private, no outside investors. I never told my parents. I changed my social media to private, used Ethan Bio on professional docs. They thought I was still struggling. Connor had crashed and burned, addiction issues, rehab twice, living off mom and dad's handouts. 20 years after they kicked me out, the opportunity arrived. Brooks Construction, the family business, was dying. Commercial real estate slowed, supply chain costs skyrocketed, bad bids, debt piled to $9.8 million. Dad was 69, tired, no succession plan. Connor had helped 4 years, mostly spending. The bank called the loans. Dad put the family home, the dream house on 3 acres in Westlake, and the business up for sale, quietly. I formed a shell, Lone Star Legacy Holdings. Through brokers, I offered $7.2 million cash for the business assets and the house, take it or lose both in foreclosure. Dad signed. Closing day, nondescript title office in Austin. Dad, Mom, Connor on one side. Dad in his old blazer, Mom clutching her purse, Connor hung over. My team on the other. Dad didn't recognize the buyer until I walked in. Ethan? His voice broke. I took the head chair. It's Ethan Brooks now. Lone Star Legacy Holdings is purchasing Brooks Construction and the Westlake property today. Cash wired. Debt cleared. Mom gasped. Connor stared. I slid the final docs. As new owner, I'm making immediate changes. David Brooks, Susan Brooks, Connor Brooks. You are all terminated from the company. No severance, no consulting, no references. The house is now mine. You have 72 hours to vacate. Security will change locks at noon tomorrow. Dad's face crumpled. Ethan, son. We're family. I looked at him evenly. You stopped being family when you kicked me out at 16. When you said Connor was worth investing in and I wasn't. When you never called for 20 years. This isn't revenge. This is consequences. Mom started crying. Please. It's our home. Our anniversary is tomorrow. I paused. I know. That's why the eviction is tomorrow. Happy anniversary. Connor exploded. You can't do this. We'll fight you. I stood. You can try. But the deeds are clean. The sale is final. You have 72 hours. After that, trespassing charges apply. Security stepped in. They left Dad leaning on Mom, Connor cursing. No fight left. Just shock. I walked the house that evening, empty rooms, old photos still on walls. I didn't feel joy. I felt finished. 20 years after they kicked me out for the Golden Sun, I bought their dream house. And evicted them on their anniversary. The first year after the eviction was the hardest for them and the most liberating for me. I didn't move into the Westlake house right away. I let it sit empty for 3 months, locks changed, utilities in my name, security cameras installed. I hired a property manager to handle maintenance, but I never stepped inside. It wasn't about living there yet. It was about ownership. Proof that what they took from me at 16 was now mine. Robert and Susan scrambled. They rented a 2-bedroom apartment in Round Rock, basic, noisy, no pool, no view. Robert tried consulting for small contractors, but his reputation had faded. No one wanted the old guy who lost his business. Susan took a part-time job at a boutique in the Domain, $16 an hour, folding clothes. Connor crashed with friends, then moved back in with them when the money ran out. He worked odd jobs, delivery, bartending, blaming the economy and Ethan's revenge for everything. They tried fighting the eviction legally. Filed a frivolous claim, undue influence, family duress. My lawyers dismissed it in 45 days, court costs awarded against them, $14,000. They couldn't pay. Judgment lien went on their names. Credit ruined. I never posted about it. No social media gloat. My life stayed private, LinkedIn professional, Instagram locked. I kept the Brooks Development Group growing, $180 million revenue year 2, new Dallas office tower project, expansion to Houston. I hired 240 more people, started a scholarship fund for first-gen engineering students in Texas, $1 million endowed, no name attached. Connor reached out first, text from a new number. Bro, this is messed up. Mom and Dad are falling apart. We're sorry. Can we talk? Just coffee. No money, I swear. I blocked it. Susan sent a letter to my office, handwritten, shaky. Ethan. We were wrong. We see that now. Connor's struggling. We're struggling. The house was our life. Our anniversary was ruined. We just want to say sorry. Please, can we see you? Love, Mom. I read it once. Filed it with the old high school report cards they never celebrated. Robert called my office line, assistant patched him after I approved. Ethan, son. We're losing the apartment. Health insurance is gone. Linda's knee needs surgery. We just need help. A loan. Anything. I kept my voice flat. You told me I'd figure it out at 16. Now figure it out. He cried. We regret it. Every day. Connor's not what we thought. You were always the strong one. We were blind. I paused. Blindness has a price. You paid it. Goodbye. I hung up. They tried one more time, showed up at my Dallas office building. Security called. I watched on the lobby camera, Dad in a worn jacket, Mom leaning on a cane, Connor behind them looking defeated. I didn't go down. I had security tell them, Mr. Brooks has no comment. Leave the property or police will be called. They left. I focused on my life. At 36 I met Sarah, architect at a competing firm. We dated slowly. She knew my story early. No secrets. We married at 38, small ceremony in Hill Country, close friends only. Our daughter, Mia, arrived a year later. Then twins, Caleb and Olivia. 3 kids. No favorites. No comparisons. Every school event, every bedtime story, I was there. Sarah asked once, do you ever want to reach out? Foreclosure? I shook my head. Closure came when I signed the papers. They don't get to be part of this. 20 years after they kicked me out, the final chapter unfolded. Robert's health failed, cancer, stage 4. Hospice at the Round Rock apartment. Susan called my office, last plea. Ethan, he's dying. He wants to see you. Just once. To say sorry. I took the call. No. He said his piece 20 years ago. Tell him I heard it. She sobbed. Please. For the grandkids. They deserve to know their grandpa. I ended the call. Robert died 2 weeks later. No funeral invite sent to me. Connor posted an obituary, short, no photo of me. Susan moved to a subsidized senior facility. Connor stayed with her, working minimum wage. I never attended the funeral. I sent anonymous flowers to the gravesite, white roses, no card. Mia asked about Grandpa one day, age 5, curious. I told her simply, some grandparents make mistakes. They weren't ready to be family the way we are. But you have me, Mommy, your brothers and sister. That's enough. She hugged me. I love our family. 20 years after they chose the Golden Sun, the dream house stood empty for a while, then I renovated it. Not to live there. I turned it into a transitional home for single dads starting over, funded by my foundation. Free rent for 6 months, job training, counseling. Named Brooks Second Chance Residence. No publicity. Just quiet impact. Connor tried one last reach letter to my office. Ethan. Dad's gone. Mom's alone. I'm clean 3 years. Working steady. I know I was part of the problem. I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. Just wanted you to know I'm trying. Connor. I read it. Filed it. No reply. Sarah asked, ever think about answering? I shook my head. They had 20 years. They used them to hurt me. I used them to build. That's the difference. A house, once their dream, now helped others dream again. And me? I had my wife, my kids, my empire. They had regret, silence, and an empty anniversary table. Karma didn't need fireworks. It just needed time. And one son who refused to stay kicked out. The eviction day arrived on their 45th wedding anniversary. I didn't go to the house. I didn't need to witness it. I had the property manager and a locksmith handle everything. Locks changed at 9 a.m., utilities transferred, security cameras live. They had 72 hours from closing to vacate. They used less than 48. From the camera feed, sent to my phone, I watched them load a U-Haul, boxes of clothes, photo albums, Susan's china, David's golf clubs. Connor argued with the manager the whole time, yelling about family rights, threatening lawsuits. The manager calmly showed the court order. They left at 11:47 a.m., truck pulling out of the driveway for the last time. I never set foot in the house again. I listed it immediately, $4.8 million asking, renovated minimally for sale. Sold in 3 weeks to a tech executive family from California. Proceeds wired to my trust. The dream house they built on favoritism became someone else's dream. Robert and Susan moved to a 1-bedroom subsidized apartment in Pflugerville, government-assisted, Section 8 waiting list. Robert's consulting dried up completely. No one wanted to hire the man who lost his business. Susan's part-time retail job ended when her hip gave out. Medicaid-covered basics, but prescriptions piled up. Connor moved in with them again. Couchsurfer, no rent, occasional delivery shifts. They tried one final legal push, filed a motion to set aside the sale, claiming coercion and undue influence. My lawyers crushed it in summary judgment. Court fees awarded against them again, $22,000. They couldn't pay. Liens attached to nothing, they had nothing left. I received one last letter from Susan, forwarded by my attorney. Ethan. Your father's gone. Heart attack last month. He died asking for you. Connor's trying to stay clean, but it's hard. I'm alone now. I know we don't deserve anything. We were cruel. We chose wrong. I just wanted you to know we're sorry, too late, but true. If you ever want to see Connor or me, we'll be here. Susan. I read it in my Dallas office, Mia coloring on the floor beside me. I folded it, filed it with the others. No reply. Connor sent a text, new number again. Dad died. Mom's not doing well. I'm sober 14 months. I know I ruined everything. I'm sorry. I don't expect help. Just thought you should know. I blocked it. Sarah asked gently that night. Do you feel anything? I held Mia close. Relief. They can't hurt anyone else now. Not me. Not my kids. 20 years after they kicked me out, the final pieces fell. Connor relapsed once, DUI again. Lost his job. Susan moved to a nursing home, Medicaid-funded, shared room. Connor visited sporadically, then less. He sent one email from rehab. I'm getting help. Again. I see now what favoritism did. I took your place. I'm sorry. If you ever want to meet your niece or nephew someday, they exist because of you not giving up. He attached a photo, 2 small kids, his from a short marriage. I looked at it. Deleted the email. I never replied. My life moved forward. Brooks Development Group hit $320 million revenue. I took it public, NASDAQ listing, shares soared. Cashed out 20%, enough for lifetime security, trusts for Mia, Caleb, Olivia. Sarah and I bought a ranch outside Austin, horses, pool, guest house for friends. We hosted holidays, open doors, full tables, no exclusions. Mia asked about Grandpa David at 8, same age I was when they kicked me out. I told her the truth, some families make mistakes. They chose wrong. But we choose right every day. That's why our house is always full. She hugged me. I love our family. 20 years after the eviction, I donated anonymously to a youth shelter in Austin. $5 million for housing and counseling for teens kicked out by parents. Named it Second Door Foundation. No publicity. Just impact. Connor tried one last time, letter to the foundation address, public record. Ethan. I'm clean 2 years. Working construction. Mom passed last month. She never stopped regretting. I'm raising my kids better than we were raised. I don't want money. Just wanted you to know I'm trying to be the man you became without help. Connor. I read it. Filed it. No reply. The dream house, sold, renovated by new owners, now had a new family filling it with laughter. The old one had emptiness. I had my wife, my 3 kids, my empire. They had regret, graves, and silence. Karma didn't need a scene. It needed 20 years. And 1 son who turned abandonment into abundance. The anniversary eviction wasn't cruelty. It was balance. They said no room for me. I made sure there was no room for them. And moved on. That was Ethan's story. Kicked out at 16, abandoned for the golden son. But he waited 20 years, built everything they never believed in. And evicted them on their anniversary, no mercy, no second chances. Karma doesn't forget the day they said you're not worth it. It remembers, and it returns the favor forever. If this revenge gave you chills, smash that like button. Subscribe and hit the bell, next soul-shaking karma story is coming.